That's right. Now, the traditional Afghan instrument, the Rubab, sits very proudly within the country's cultural heritage.
And it means that much more particular to one family in Afghanistan who have held the instrument very dear through many generations.
Afghanistan has a rich musical heritage. Its traditional music was once renowned across the region. But the arrival of the Soviets and the Civil War broke Afghanistan's music industry apart. Then the Taliban banned music completely, which forced many of Afghanistan's talented musicians to flee the country. In 2001, the overthrow of the Taliban regime enabled many Afghan refugees to return to their country and begin a new life. Among them were Isa and Rafiq, famous rubab makers in Old City, Kabul, who had been living in Pakistan during the Taliban times. At their home in Kabul, they make and repair rubabs and other traditional instruments. They've done this their entire lives, as did their father and grandfather. Isa said that during the Taliban years, he and his brother lived with their families in Pakistan, but would routinely cross the border where the wood was better. They'd rough out the bodies of the instruments and then smuggle them back. Rafiq, Isa's brother, told us that despite the difficulty of making a rubab, which takes about 15 to 20 days from big log to work of art, it is a good occupation. His youngest son is already learning. Rafiq also said that they won't stop the family tradition. This man has been playing for 26 years and does wedding parties. A great feature on newer models, he says, is the jack to plug it into an amplifier for big audiences. Despite the modernization of music, the traditional instruments and songs from Afghanistan and the region are still listened to by Kabul's young, and are even incorporated into current popular songs, obviously satisfying the taste of contemporary Afghan listeners in ways that purely Western music cannot.
Incredible, huh? Starting with that great, big, massive tree trunk
wood,
and whittling it down to that beautiful little thing.
Indeed.
That's right. Well, our next guest knows all about the Rubab. I got that. See, got that right from listening to the clip, the Rubab, because indeed he plays it professionally. Milad Yousofi, good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Living the Life.
Thank you very much.
Amazing instrument. Is that how it's pronounced, Rubab?
Rubab.
Rubab.
Rubab, yeah.
Where does the name come from?
That's an interesting question. There's a few theories. The one I like is Rubab. Ro means soul, Bab door. So the soul to the door to the soul.
Door to the soul.
That's interesting, yeah.
However, that's a bit...
I like that.
It's a bit romantic. I think it may come from the Vedic... I think it's Rivana is another instrument from the ancient Aryan books, and then that's just changed to Ravana, Rababa, and it became Rubab. But I like the Rubab.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds really interesting.
I think, many of our viewers, sort of those who've grown up in the West, are familiar with the guitar. Indian subcontinent, of course, they know the sitar. We've got the Arabs who know the oud, of course.
It's a real mix, isn't it?
There's some similarities there, but at the same time, it's very, very different. What makes this different from the more traditional sort of guitar-like instruments that we'd be familiar with?
Well, I can tell you what I'll start off with the kind of similarities, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
This has a possibly over 5,000-year history. Not this modern,
not that particular
one.
But the instrument itself.
And not this particular design either. But the instrument itself, they found some, like reminiscent of like a wooden body and strings in the Pamir Mountain, the skirts of Pamir Mountain, and they found some more in Mesopotamia where Iraq is, and they see if they have any relation thousands of years ago, and then that kind of developed, and I think that's where the word Rivana thing.
Is it a certain type of wood? Is it hollow? Is it quite heavy? What does it feel like?
Okay, so this is made. I'll come back to the difference in similarities to guitars. It's a double-chambered. I mean, technically speaking, it's a double-chambered, short-necked lute.
Okay.
So it's a lute coming from the word laoud.
Yes, yes.
And the oud, that's where the guitar comes from.
Laoud,
So when we look at the guitar, geet means singing, tar means string. So guitar.
And normally we would see 6 strings on a guitar, sometimes see 12 if it's a double string guitar. This has got how many did you say?
This has
it's a bit like my mic.
it's between 18 and 24.
Wow. 18 and 24 strings.
So it's three main melodic strings. So I'm kind of have my back towards you. So
that's all right.
three melodic strings, 2 drone strings, sometimes 3 drone strings.
Yeah.
And the rest are just sympathetic strings, which kind of resonate the scale or mode you play.
Are you
Jim, is this your kind of thing?
Are you a musician?
Possibly not, but I don't think I'd know where to begin with that, to be honest.
You're just in a guitar, but
it's
not
a
one of
beautiful
these.
thing.
Are you a musician? Sorry,
No, I'm more of a bird person, but that's the thing. No, I was just admiring it, actually, because there's these beautiful little inlaid sections here. What's that made of?
This is mother of pearl.
Mother of pearl, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with that, I have, thank God I have a few instruments. Just over time I've collected nice guitars and different lutes from around the world. But the thing with Rubab, you can see the maker's mark. You know, you can see where he's chipped
It's very
away.
individual, each one.
And each one is individual, and this one is actually not mine. This is Amanat. This is a friend of mine who's his father's. And I'm just looking after it for now, rather than just hanging it there. But yeah, every little thing is the imperfections.
Now, with 18 to 24 strings, I understand it takes a little bit of time to tune it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I mean, a well-tuned Rubab, that's right. Sometimes I have a few, I tune them, I don't even play them, I just like tuning them.